It's your local high school dropout, and today is the day. It is Mother's Day. A week ago today it was snowing, and now, we finally have arrived at Mother's Day. I did take a look in the 10-day forecast and didn't see any temperatures actually that went below like the upper 40s, so we are pretty much safe. It's a beautiful day, here along the Wasatch Front in Utah. But like I was saying, we're pretty much safe, I think, to start planting. From here on out, if there's not really any cooler temperatures by this time, or within the 10-day by Mother's Day, then we're ready to go. We have thrown together these compost piles, and both these piles here, the by hand method, where it's just been me literally just tearing apart pieces of organic scraps throughout the complex here, and then the low-tech pile, which is just using tools that a single person could operate, and then we have the high-tech pile, which we use the electric mulcher on, the electric chipper, and we'll go and see how much we were able to really get accomplished within 20 days. So actually these two piles were less than 20 days, probably about 16, 17 days. And didn't make any videos all last week and just have let these piles sit, haven't watered them. There's been a lot of rain and even a little bit of snow that last week. And we will hopefully see if they are sustaining any sort of bioactivity in these piles. And then we'll probably just get them all sifted, and we'll probably put the stuff that still needs to decompose back here, and then we'll try to sift and get some compost here. I'm not going to do a ton of work on them today, mostly to save that for tomorrow, and we'll have some other Mother's Day activities, but we'll look into these piles. This is the by hand pile. We'll sift through it and see if we got, actually you can see just even right there's a lot of flies. There's even some bugs in there, so definitely some bioactivity. You can definitely see things there. There's a worm right here, and a couple worms. Lots of worms. So you can see 1, 2, big worm here, 3, 4, 5, another worm here. So actually this is a lot of little tinier worms right here. Some millipedes, some ants, some spiders. So we actually have a lot of bioactivity in there. That's exactly what we're looking for. If you look on my hands, a lot of this is pretty close to completely broken down, and that is literally just stuff I've been breaking apart by hand and throwing it in there. So that's what you can see, and just it's been breaking down. They're happy in there, and we'll continue to let this go, but there's probably enough stuff, compost, that probably if I were to sift that through, and this is just in about 14 days or less, that we can probably start some seeds in there. So I'll put this all back in through here, and I'll continue to just kind of add throughout the rest of the whole season. I know this is only video 13 of 18, because I was 18 videos I was supposed to do for this Garden Anywhere by Anyone video series, but we'll do all 18, so I'll kind of check in periodically with these, and we'll kind of move some stuff around. Now we'll go look at the low-tech pile and see what happened there. This is the low-tech pile. We'll kind of dig into there. Of course, you can see some nice dark color, and that's what we're looking for as these things start to decompose. And a lot of water content, a ton of worms. You can already see them right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually maybe even a little too wet, but yeah, a lot of worms. There's 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's at least a dozen or so worms in there. So yeah, that's looking really good. And again, proof that, and this is just by taking clippers and pruners and just chopping up organic matter that we found throughout this complex. Now the real one This is over here in the high-tech compost berm. And what we'll do is dig through there and kind of see how that did. I mean, obviously some worms. There's a lot of worms. This stuff is really soggy, maybe too soggy, but decomposing nicely. You know, there's definitely worms all through here, and there's just a bunch that kind of keep going in through there. See worms there. And so that's just plant matter that's decomposed. And, you know, it's almost like turning into what you would consider soil, but not fully decomposed yet, obviously. But I think we're going to be good to start sifting through this and getting going for planting. We'll probably start planting a little bit tomorrow. But that is 20 days. That's the amount of decomposing and decomposition that can take place in just 20 days. So imagine if I had even started in the spring from in the fall from last year, how much better this would be, and how much more decomposed, and you probably could sift through this. So the stuff's not fully decomposed. You can see here in my hands, it's not fully decomposed, and it still smells pretty sewagey, so that's definitely a lot to go before we really do have fully decomposed compost. But we'll start sifting through and going from there. I use little milk crates as a sifter, and I'll go grab those and start sifting through the piles. So this is a produce crate, and it has little holes in it. Probably, you know, bigger holes than I would want. If I actually did have a screen or some sort of small chicken wire, it would be a better sifter, but this will work. And pretty much just trying to get the bigger stuff that won't go through these larger holes. And I'm gonna sift all the compost there in the middle. Just wanted to show you that. It is really pretty wet. It's held a lot of water and really slimy, really mushy, almost kind of muddy. This isn't working too well as a sifter, so I'm going to go in and get a milk crate, and maybe that'll allow a little more to go through. Also wanted to show this. You can see definitely retained a lot of water there, and if we get in close, there are tons of worms. This stuff up here is almost like mud. It's just soggy organic matter that found a lot of worms in there. They seem to really like it. And up against the wood where they can still be a little dry. All right, so I'm going to use a milk crate. It actually has more holes. There's more of them. So hopefully it will let more stuff sift through, because you can see the pile. It's just, I mean, it's really good. It's nice and fine, but it's just not working very well with the produce box. But you can see, you know, obviously that's going to allow much more to go through. So I think for today, I'm just going to sift this half of the compost berm. This was all the material that sifted through. You can see it probably reduced the size of the berm by about 50%. If you look at this right here, it is pretty soggy and pretty wet, and I didn't really anticipate much more than this, only being 20 days. So, you know, I will say that I'm pretty pleased with how it is, but I'm gonna actually tons of worms all through it, and I do have some strawberries here, some garlic, and some chives right over here that I'm just gonna plant directly in here and kind of build this up. But you know, it's not the most ideal, but just showing everything here has been stuff that has in essence been free, you know, with the exception of the wood frame. Everything was free and gotten through creating our own compost, or, you know, again, thanks to reframe events, or having all their floral arrangements that they decompose and bring to us, because that's where all this whole berm came from. And then these two piles were just things that picked up through around this complex there. But you know, I'm gonna actually plant right in this, and I might even try to plant some seeds, see if seeds will take. I'm a little more doubtful on the seeds, but we'll see how it goes. So last quick real update. In this stuff that I've sifted through this southern half of the compost berm, I put the garlic, the chives, and the strawberries. Probably not the best idea to plant all those things so close together, but that's what I did there. Then in the stuff that I put back into the compost berm, I did plant some strawberries there to see how those would take. And then I think I might only sift from about here up to where the herbs are right there. And so I planted some other strawberries there just to kind of see how each one does in each of the stages of decomposition. With this being some of the finer material, a little bit more decomposed, this still being slimy, woody, mushy, and that just not touching at all. So I'll probably tomorrow just sift right from there. Spend this last little bit of time chopping up some more of this stuff. There is a lot of sticks that didn't really get shredded all the way through, so just gonna spend some time chopping those up, getting them small, you know, again for surface area and to help with it all getting decomposed. And that is Mother's Day, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. I'll do a few more videos, you know, just throughout the season here and there to show how things are doing, but literally no soil, right on top of concrete, by hand, using tools there, and then using some more high-tech technology there, and see what we can grow.